Welcome to Dave and Johnny Live. I'm Dave.
I'm Johnny.
He's Johnny.
That was epic music to come into. That was nice.
Yeah, you like that intro, the theme song and everything? It was pretty good, right?
It was cool, yeah. Different.
Yeah, we're always making changes. Look at the set to Dave and Johnny Live. Totally different.
It's darker.
Brand new studio. Yeah, well, before it was like walls and stuff, and now we have, it's a different look for the show. Debuted it last night on the live Ringside Report show with Fred and AJ. And now we're back here for Dave and Johnny Live. Back on the YouTube channel.
Nice. It's a long week for you, that's for sure.
Sure. It's not so bad.
A lot of YouTubing.
It's not so bad. It's not that bad.
Well, it was just last night.
Although we do have a show on Sunday, right?
Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can make that, but I do know that my show got canceled for next Saturday, so I can make Double or Nothing.
Oh.
So there you go.
Okay, so you'll be here for Double or Nothing. We'll do a Double or Nothing post-show. Today on Dave and Johnny Live, we have a few things planned. We're going to talk about AEW, All Elite Wrestling. I'm going to talk a little bit about New Japan and the best of the Super Juniors, and maybe a little 90 Day Fiancé thrown in there as well. Right? That's the plan for the show?
Well, AEW, it's just the announcement, right? Just they're going to be on TNT now.
Yeah.
So we're back to how it used to be now.
Yeah.
Back in 2001.
Well, back when WCW was around. Is that what you're talking about? How it used to be?
Well, someone on TNT.
Are you calling AEW WCW? I think they might take that as an insult.
WCW.
It was a great company.
It was better than Raw for a couple of years, actually, for like 2 or 3 years. Like, it was the rating. It dominated the ratings.
Yes, it was a top wrestling show for a few years.
See, you want to strive to actually be like WCW because they actually were competition.
I think you'd want to survive, though, not like go away after a
Right.
certain amount of years. I mean, WCW had a great time. You know, they were around for a while, but probably not as long as a lot of people in WCW wanted to be, right?
Probably not, but there was other problems with that, though, unfortunately. People let other people.
Sure, we're not going to get into the death of WCW here and what happened and, Eric Bischoff and Vince Russo and
Kevin Nash.
Sure, Kevin Nash and, all these people. We're not going to get into the nitty-gritty of the best of WCW and what happened. This is AEW. It's a brand new thing. This isn't WCW. I know it's being run by a guy named Rhodes, but it's not Dusty. It's his son, Cody.
Well, Dusty, he was the booker. He wasn't ever the president of WCW.
Right. Yeah, it's different.
And I guess Cody isn't the president either, but it seems like he has a huge
He's an
hand.
executive vice president, right? Aren't they all?
So that's it. They're all got a
Well,
piece of the
him
pie.
and the Bucks and I think Kenny and Jericho. I think they're all, in charge.
Not Hangman Page? He's just there?
I don't know.
Okay. That's interesting.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he's, in charge. I think he's definitely well-placed in the company, right? He's a member of the Elite, and it's All Elite Wrestling. So Hangman's doing fine for himself. He's going to wrestle Pac next weekend. I'm very excited to see Hangman versus Pac. Double or Nothing is going to be awesome. It's going down next Saturday. All Elite Wrestling is going to TNT. The thought was that AEW would start airing on Tuesday nights on TNT, but then our guy on Twitter, DJ Derek John, mentioned to me a very solid point, saying TNT has NBA basketball on Tuesday nights
And Thursdays.
Yeah, so those are probably ruled out as nights for AEW, right? So if you're taking out Tuesdays and Thursdays and you're gonna air on a weeknight, well, it leaves 3 of those days, right? Monday,
Okay.
Wednesday,
I like Wednesdays.
or Friday.
Yeah, Friday's kind of like Monday. Not so great.
What do you mean?
Because you're going up against either Raw or SmackDown.
Right.
Wednesday, you're kind of unopposed.
Yeah.
I think Wednesday's the safe bet.
You don't think they should try to go up against Raw or SmackDown? I think if you gave me 15 wrestlers, if you gave me the talent roster that AEW has, I'd be able to put on a better wrestling show every single week than Monday Night Raw easily. How hard can that be? Have you seen Raw?
Right, but it still has an established fan base. You're not going to be able to kill off the whole fan base and like win the ratings right away from them. It's going to take a long time.
Yeah,
It didn't happen with WCW right away. It took years.
Yeah, but WCW didn't have Kenny Omega.
No, but they had Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, a Hulk Hogan who was past his prime. AEW has, forward-thinking wrestling.
Yeah, it's true.
Derek John mentioning on the chat, which we'll get to here.
I imagine a lot of people want to talk about this.
Derek John is saying Wednesdays are NXT. I think AEW could go up against NXT and it wouldn't really be a problem, though, right?
It's a tape show.
What's up, Andy? Shout out to Andy on the chat. Send us your comments on the chat. We'll read them during the show.
It's late for Andy, too, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, it's not that late in England. It's like, 7 p.m. or something?
I want to say it's later than that.
Andy's out in London, right?
Yeah. But yeah, late enough.
Late enough, 7 p.m.? Yeah, you go to bed at 9.
I go to bed early, I told you.
You go to bed at 9. I don't know what's wrong with you. I go to bed at 1-ish, usually, 12, 1. Earlier these days
Because you told
than I
me,
used to.
how come you're not listening to the show or watching the show? I'm like, I'm pretty much in bed already.
Yeah, you didn't watch Ringside Report last night.
You guys are on too late for me.
Well, go check it out. Go watch the video, leave a comment, like the video if you missed Ringside Report last night like Johnny North did.
I'll watch it. I watched a bit of it.
Go and check it out. Yeah, we talked about you. You're always a subject of conversation on the show.
Well, considering I talked about AJ last week, it makes sense.
And Fred kind of doubled down on some of the stuff you said even last night.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. That's surprising.
He went further.
Huh. Interesting. Well, I can't wait to watch this now.
Yeah. And then AJ was mad about something I said.
That beef continues with you and him.
That wasn't anything related to that. I don't know. I kind of saved him on some stuff, and he was mad about some other comment I made. Anyways, I called him a goofball, and he wasn't happy about it.
Yeah. Like apparently, you say a lot of things, and he doesn't forget that stuff.
No, he gets mad.
Yeah,
he gets mad
a long time.
I was like, AJ, we're all goofballs. It's not an insult. It's fun. I like that you're a goofball, And he got mad. So I apologized to AJ. I'm sorry he's mad. He's a good man. AJ's a great guy. I love AJ,
He told me about all these people that I go to see, and they don't like you because apparently you bash them all the time.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel bad. I hope they're, I don't mean anything by AJ, but, AJ's out of control sometimes.
Oh, I haven't watched it, so maybe you were merited. I don't know.
Are they mad at me or Fred? I mean, Fred goes at AJ, too.
No, it's mainly the Dave Simon.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah. Well, that makes sense.
It's all right, You create beefs. I create beefs too, right? Like on Instagram.
You're always creating beefs. Andy says it's 5:30. Andy's out in England. He says it's 5:30 p.m. It's not late, Johnny.
That's not bad, actually.
Well, it's kind of late night for Johnny North, right?
Well, once you get to 7, yeah, you're pretty much going practically to bed. If you have an 8 by then, you got to eat quick and then, right to bed. Got to get that sleep.
Derek John saying Raw viewership is at an all-time low. What's going on here with the chat?
I'm not surprised Raw's on all-time low because it's kind of a sloppy show with this whole wild card rule put in effect. You don't really understand what the hell's going on because anyone can show up, which is fun, I find, but I think a lot of people find that the stories are just kind of all over the place. We have Daniel Bryan and Rowan against the Usos. They're the tag team champions on SmackDown, but it's a non-title match. Just random matches that don't really make sense. They were feuding with the Revival, the Usos, but don't give them the pay-per-view match. Do you understand?
I don't understand.
Yeah, I don't understand it either.
It's a non-title match?
Because they aren't on SmackDown.
So what's the point? They just want to have Daniel Bryan on pay-per-view and they don't really care about the Revival?
Pay-per-view? It's the pre-show match. It's the kickoff match. It's not even going to be on pay-per-view.
Daniel Bryan's on the pre-show match.
Right from the WWE title match WrestleMania to the pre-show.
Next pay-per-view.
Yep.
Unbelievable.
But hey, he's tag champ, right?
Yeah.
Tag team evolution right here. No? Isn't that what he said?
It's no wonder people aren't watching Raw. All the comments we get, it's like, oh, man, Raw, SmackDown. No one wants to watch this stuff. And people cannot wait for AEW. It's going to be real easy for AEW to come in and put on a better show. Whether or not enough people watch, that's a whole different thing. But I think people are going to catch on, and most of the people that are watching Raw will kind of figure out, hey, maybe we need to watch this other stuff. And I think a lot of the people that aren't watching Raw are going to watch AEW because they want some good wrestling. People are starved for good wrestling. I'm starved for good wrestling, but I get it. I seek it out. but it's going to be available to millions of Americans on TNT on a weekly basis. You know, a new product. This is something that doesn't really exist for Americans. You know, on a major network. They don't have another option, and now they're going to have another option. It's hard to get New Japan, and the New Japan that they do get is on Access TV, right? So it's like, okay. And it's not the recent stuff. Yeah, you have to pay money. You have to subscribe to New Japan World. You have to put in the effort to be a New Japan fan. To get this T-shirt that I'm currently wearing, you have to figure out the website, the New Japan Shop website, because it's completely in Japanese.
That must have been fun.
Oh, yeah, it's fun. It is fun for me. I enjoy it. Using Google Translate, trying to figure out what's what. But, like, you know, it's not easy to go get New Japan. Even though the wrestling is great, I'd say it is superior to the WWE. The Best of the Super Juniors tournament going on right now. Mm-hmm. That's the wrestling I'm watching, and I'm loving it. That's what I'm enjoying right now. All week they've had great shows. WWE, not so much. And I'm very excited for AEW because it's going to be like an American-style New Japan. They're taking a lot of the top guys from New Japan. You know, Kenny was the champion not too long ago.
Right.
And now he's going to be the top guy in AEW. Jericho. Jericho's going to wrestle in New Japan in a couple of weeks against Okada. So it's going to be like an American-style, indie-style, hybrid wrestling company that's trying to do new things and trying very hard to entertain wrestling fans. Which the WWE doesn't seem to be doing. They don't seem to be trying hard to break new ground and really put on a revolutionary type wrestling show. They're doing the status quo week in and week out, and people are tired of it. They're tired of the same old, same old.
All right, for those fans, but that's still a small section, I think, of the whole wrestling community. I think a lot of people that tuned into Nitro every week just wanted to tune in to see some good action every week. It didn't need to be wrestling. Sometimes it would just be a good soap opera. And can AEW deliver that, or is it just going to be wrestling?
I think they'll be able to deliver good storylines, but, you know, we'll see.
Right.
But I think, you know, the Young Bucks and the Elite have demonstrated on Being the Elite, the YouTube series that they have, that they're able to create good stories and entertaining content beyond just what they do in the ring.
Okay, they can, yeah. The rest of the show?
Well, you know, you have Kenny. You have Chris Jericho. I mean, you know Chris Jericho is very entertaining.
Of course.
And when he's in a position of power, he's going to be helping the company move forward and get in that direction, right?
Yeah, for sure. But it's going to be a building process. It's not going to happen overnight. It's great that they're selling out the pay-per-views, but how many buys are they going to get for this pay-per-view that apparently is going to be like $60 American?
I still don't know how we're going to get it in Canada
Exactly.
either.
We don't even, and we're like less than a week away, almost.
We're a week away. It's a week from tomorrow.
It's crazy.
It's May 25th.
We don't know.
We don't know how it's going to be broadcast, or now I'm thinking if it's going to be broadcast in Canada.
That's
I mean,
rough.
if I have to get this illegally, Cody, I will. Come on, Kenny and Jericho. Like, help us out, man. You guys are Canadian. What are you guys doing? How come there's no deal for Canada? I mean, I understand deals are hard to make, and they want to make the right deal, and, you know.
Right.
But, like, it's a week out, and Canada still doesn't know what we're doing for AEW. We still don't know what we're doing for Double or Nothing. They've got a deal in England. They're going to air AEW on ITV, and they're going to air Double or Nothing. So people in England, you guys are all set. By the way, Andy wants you to DM him. He wants your new T-shirt. So you got to contact him and get it to him.
Yeah, sure.
Okay?
No problem. My shirt looks
Andy's
sweet.
saying that it's 15 pounds for the pay-per-view in the UK, so about $12. $12? $60 US and $12?
How does that work?
I don't know. Man, England, man. England's doing it. And Wally, what's up, Wally? Wally loves the new set.
Oh, Wally's not getting the alerts that we're on anymore.
No, I don't know what's going on.
Something changed in the settings. That's what happens with the new technology.
Yep. You just got to be here. You just got to be here, know when we're on,
I tweeted it.
We're on at 12:45. Oh, you tweeted it? I got to retweet you, Johnny.
There you go.
But, we still have no deal in Canada, and it's worrying me.
I worry more about the weekly TV. Like, okay.
I'm not worried about the weekly TV because that starts in October, right?
Okay, but...
Like AEW TV is not going to start right after Double or Nothing. It's going to start in the fall, as far as I know.
Right.
So I'm not worried about that because they have time to set a deal. But
Okay.
I'm worried about how I'm going to be able to watch this thing in Canada. Is there going to be an internet pay-per-view? Can I buy it online? What's the deal here?
Well, I feel like somehow, some way you'd be able to watch it. Maybe not live, but it'll be more available later on. Possibly they'll put it on like pay-per-view somewhere. Maybe Fight TV or something. It just might not be live. It might be on another day or something. That's why I wouldn't worry about getting the pay-per-view. I worry more about the TV because are we going to get that right away? Because with a lot of them, we don't get it right away. The WWE Network, we had to wait almost a year, I think, to get it in Canada.
All here. They just announced a few hours ago, John.
Oh, fantastic.
Okay, this is 3 hours ago. They tweeted out that Fight.tv is going to be distributing the pay-per-view. So you can buy it online.
Okay.
On the website, so we can buy that in Canada. So I think that's how it's going to get to everybody else that doesn't have a deal. They have a deal in the States for pay-per-view. They have a deal in the UK for pay-per-view, but they don't have a deal in many other markets, including Canada. So I think for Canadians, it's going to be Fight.tv, which is fine. Like, whatever. Just give me a way to buy it. I'm kind of... I hope that it gets on TV as well. I hope we see AEW on TV here in Canada.
Well,
I'm sure they'll get a deal done, but, nothing announced yet. But it seems like Fight TV is going to be the place for us to buy it. So I'm going to buy this thing, John, and we're going to watch it. All right? And the pre-show is going to be on the AEW YouTube channel, which is cool.
That's the Battle Royal, if I'm not mistaken, right? The
Yeah.
Casino Battle Royal?
Yeah.
Cool. That'll be nice.
So, okay. I guess we have a deal for Canada.
Oh, just in time. Good timing.
Yeah. We're seeing some comments here. What are we seeing here? Can't wait for Champions League final. I don't know what they're talking about. Liverpool. They're talking about soccer on the chat, John. I don't even know what they're talking about.
Because I think it's Wally's team against Andy's team, possibly.
Is it? I don't know.
Yeah. It's good for them, man.
Who's in the Champions League final?
I think it's Liverpool, like they said.
Oh, yeah, and
I think
Tottenham?
Tottenham, yeah.
Right. And there was a crazy game, right? They were down, and then they came back, and they won.
I think it was Liverpool was down against Barcelona.
Yeah, they won like 4-0 or something. I don't know.
4-3.
Okay, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't watch soccer.
Which is, well, they're down like 3-0, so that's crazy to come back from that.
Yeah. That's cool. Good for Liverpool?
Well, good for, I guess, Andy, yeah.
Yeah. Well, whoever's enjoying the soccer, Yeah. Go team. Go team. Go team.
You had the World Cup,
Yeah.
So now Andy gets this.
Oh, it's good. I like it. Oh, Wally says he's happy for Andy's team. They're explaining to us what's going on. There's ITV4. They get the Battle Royal for free. The AEW Battle Royal on ITV4 out in the UK. And Wally says he's happy for Andy's team. Go Andy's team, which I think is Liverpool.
Yeah.
I think is Liverpool. I don't know. Or Tottenham, maybe?
I think it's Liverpool because that was like miraculous where they came back. And I'm pretty sure he tweeted about it.
He was happy about it? All right. I don't know which team he's cheering for, but, we're going for whatever team the Dave and Johnny Live universe is going for. Johnny North, we have so much news in pro wrestling. Like, there's so much going on. The Wrestling Uncensored show is going to be centered around the WWE and the Money in the Bank, right? Because the Money in the Bank is this Sunday, and we are going to preview that show. You're not coming for Money in the Bank?
No, I won't be able to make it, unfortunately. But I'll be here for Double or Nothing.
Man. My brother said he's not going to be here for Money in the Bank either.
That's terrible. What
you
the
know
heck?
why?
Why?
Because it's the Game of Thrones finale on Sunday. So he's watching that instead of Money in the Bank.
Unbelievable.
What kind of wrestling fan
I do like Game of Thrones personally, but I'd watch Money in the Bank over that. Money in the Bank's one of the best pay-per-views all year. Like Game of Thrones you can watch later. Money in the Bank, watching that live, that's awesome.
Yeah.
It's too bad.
It's very disappointing. So what am I going to do now?
Yeah, what are you going to do now?
Am I going to be here by myself after Money in the Bank?
Oh, you're going to have to call AJ up. You're going to have to apologize to AJ and like work out all your beef.
You guys better be here. I want you guys all here after Money in the Bank because we're doing a YouTube show whether Johnny's here or my brother's here or AJ's here or not. It'll be me by myself talking about Money in the Bank after Money in the Bank if it has to be, and that's fine.
Wow.
Am I going to watch Money in the Bank by myself? Is that what's going to happen here? Oh, man. That's going to be sad.
Well, you have your son. You know.
Yeah, I'll watch it with him, but he's not going to stay up. He's going to go to bed like pretty much when it starts.
Yeah, maybe an hour in, yeah.
Yeah, an hour in, right? About 8:30.
Him and I, we got good bedtimes. Like, it's good.
Yeah, what are you, sleeping like a baby? What are you, a baby?
Man, it's good to sleep early. It's good.
What are you, some kind of baby?
You got to get those 8 hours, 8 to 10. You feel good after. Try it sometime. I know you do these like midnight shows all the time, and it's rough.
8 to 10 hours? You get 8 to 10 hours of sleep?
I strive for it. I wish I could get 8 to 10.
Do you get it, though?
I probably get 6 to 8.
Yeah, okay, that's about right.
Yeah.
But 8 to 10? I can't remember when I got more than 8. I mean, I can't remember when I got more than 7, really, these days. But what are you going to do?
When you have big shows, when you wrestle, when you're the British Commonwealth champion, you need to take those 10 hours every now and then.
Yeah, I guess so. Champ life, right? When are you beating up Mike Marston?
It'll be June 8th in St. Hyacinthe at the Palais de Congrès there.
Yeah! We're coming for you, Mike Marston!
Oh, I am anyways. That's for sure.
Yeah, well, me too. I'm in your corner. I'm just like in your corner.
I appreciate that.
What's the
Thank
problem?
you.
I'm on your team.
It's good.
I'm on Team Johnny.
Great.
Wally says 8 is perfect amount of sleep. That's usually the... Wally says he never watched Game of Thrones before coming to Canada and visiting, and now he's on Series 7, and it's amazing. He'll be ready to watch the finale on Sunday. Watched a whole lot in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So he watched all the Game of Thrones in 2 weeks, and he's going to watch Money in the Bank. My goodness.
It is a great show, but Money in the Bank is
Andy
fantastic.
says he only gets 4 hours of sleep. Blimey. Blimey indeed, Andy. Blimey indeed.
Andy also has like 2 daughters, so
yeah.
you know, you don't sleep when you have kids. You know
But
that.
Andy also watches a lot of American sports, right? And if you're an Englishman who watches a lot of American sports, you got to stay up super late. He likes the NBA. He likes the NFL. He likes the MLB. He likes the WWE. And when you're doing that, well, you're staying up super late. And then you have things to do in the morning. And, yeah. It's rough.
Imagine WrestleMania, how that was like.
Yeah.
Oof.
And then you watch the post show.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, it was late for us. WrestleMania. Johnny, what else do we have here other than Money in the Bank this Sunday? Did you watch the Tom McGee Bret Hart match? You didn't watch that?
I haven't seen it yet. No.
Okay.
Was it good?
I mean, it was all right. It wasn't the best Bret Hart match
Sometimes
I'd ever
his
seen.
breast comes out when he takes the straps down. You see his breasts. They're kind of big in the early days.
It wasn't the best Bret Hart match I have ever seen.
Bret's had great matches, so that's
that's
tough to say.
You know, you could tell Tom McGee wasn't very good.
He was in great shape, though.
He was in incredible shape. He could do a backflip.
That's cool.
He could do all sorts of stuff. If you guys don't know the story, Tom McGee was this wrestler who wrestled Bret Hart in 1986 in the WWE, the WWF at the time. They thought he was going to be this hot prospect. He was a guy from British Columbia. He was a Canadian guy, trained by Stu Hart. Very big, about 6'5", 275, jacked to the gills, was a powerlifting champion, was a bodybuilding champion. He had the look. He had long hair. He He looked like $1 million.
Right.
He looked like the next Hulk Hogan. That's what Vince McMahon thought, because this guy came in for a tryout, and Vince said, Bret, I need you to go and have a match with him and lose, and Bret didn't want to lose to him.
I bet.
Bret actually wrote about it in his book. You can read about it in Bret's excellent book, the cartoon, whatever, wrestling.
My Cartoon Life in Pro Wrestling.
Whatever,
yeah.
look up. It's the only book written by Bret Hart. Go and read it. It's excellent. So they say, okay, Bret, just wrestle the match. It won't be televised. Don't worry about it. Just make McGee look good. Bret goes into the locker room, says to Tom McGee, what are your 3 best moves? What are the 3 things you can do? We'll work a match around that.
That's pretty good.
So, and he's like, if you listen to me and you trust me, I'll get you a job and I'll get you over. And the guy's like, okay, whatever you say, Bret. And Bret at the time was just in a tag team. This is 1986, so this is nowhere near where Bret was going to be, right?
Yeah, but Bret was still a great wrestler.
Of course. He was always great. In our opinion, he is the greatest professional wrestler of all time.
Right.
Right? So, they have this match, and it's very good. And Tom McGee looks like $1 million.
Not surprised.
And Vince McMahon is backstage watching it and apparently says, that's my next world champion. He's going to be the successor to Hulk Hogan.
Wow.
That's the guy, and he freaks out over Tom McGee.
Amazing.
What Vince didn't realize at the time was, Bret Hart was going to be his next world champion. It wasn't Tom McGee. And Tom McGee wasn't really that good. He was just in there with the greatest wrestler ever. And Bret made him look great because that's what Bret was supposed to do. Right?
Right.
So Tom McGee goes on and has a few other matches. He had a decent match, I think, with Ted DiBiase that's very hard to find. And he had a few more matches in the WWE, and they didn't go well, and it was apparent that the guy was just not coordinated enough to be a wrestler. He just wasn't very good at pro wrestling. Just a big body who could do backflips. He had a gymnastics background. Apparently he was a karate black belt. Like, you would think it would have worked. Maybe now, if they had a WWE Performance Center, they could get him ready enough that it could work. But back then, they didn't have the system in place. And after a couple of years, he fizzled out in the WWE. They let him go. Wow. And then by 1990, after a few more shots in Japan, he was out of the business entirely. So 4 years after Vince McMahon anointed him the next Hulk Hogan, he's completely out of the wrestling business. And this match with Bret Hart was lost. Like, people that used to trade tapes, right? Back in the day to find wrestling, there was no internet. You had to trade VHS tapes. I'm too young for that. Are you too young for that? I never traded. I had VHS tapes. I'd order WrestleMania, 14, and then I'd record it on VHS, and then I'd watch it over again. Right. I'm old enough for that. But I never, communicated with people and mailed tapes. That just wasn't something that I even knew existed when I was, 7 or 8.
I heard about it. But
the internet came around when we were, 11 or 12? So
I think I was 13, 14.
Yeah, well, you're a couple years older than me.
Yeah.
Right? So
yeah.
So we didn't trade tapes. But people that did trade tapes could never find this Tom McGee match, and they were searching for it. And apparently Colt Cabana had said, and Tyson Kidd in the WWE documentary that they put out with this match that they did release after Raw on Monday on the network, they said that they had tried and asked the WWE, could we get this match? We want to see Tom McGee, Bret Hart, because it was kind of a legendary match that no one had really seen.
Okay.
And the WWE always said no. WWE would give you any match you wanted to study, but they were like, no, we don't have that, or no, you can't have it, or whatever. And then this woman who's a big wrestling fan, who's been involved in the wrestling business for years, had a bunch of Bret's old tapes that they were converting into DVDs, and on one of the tapes was Bret Hart, Tom McGee. And then maybe a month or two ago on Twitter, she started posting, hey, I have this match. Hey, and she posted clips, and people were like, whoa, you have this match. This is real. I guess the WWE got in contact with her. I guess the WWE actually didn't have the match, and then they got in contact with her. They got the match, and they aired it on the network this past Monday. So it's kind of cool, like wrestling nerds, people that are super into wrestling and seeing, these matches that no one else has seen. They were very excited about it. I was excited about it, not so much because it was Tom McGee, but more because I'm a Bret Hart nerd. And, like, I've seen all the Bret Hart stuff. And if there's a Bret Hart match that I've not seen, I want to see it because I love Bret Hart. And I like to see every single thing that Bret has ever done. So for me, I was really excited to see a new Bret match that I'd never seen before. And it was cool because I love Bret Hart. He's the best ever.
What was the finish?
McGee pins Bret with sunset flip.
Okay.
Nice sunset flip.
All right.
Trunks were way too small.
Yeah, but he's a bodybuilder.
Yeah, but half of his butt was like out the whole match. It was like, whoa, Tom McGee. Get some bigger trunks, dude. It's weird.
Bodybuilders don't care about that kind of stuff.
I guess. Anyways, you didn't see it. But
No.
you knew the story a little bit.
Heard about it.
Well, there it is. That's the Tom McGee story. And they finally aired the match. It's cool.
What did Brett say about this? I'm sure Brett made some comments.
Yeah. I don't know. Nothing really major. He just kind of told the story of what happened. Kind of what I just told you.
I don't think he's impressed by the match.
The most impressive part about the documentary to me was A, seeing what Tom McGee looks like now. He was in the documentary.
Okay.
And B, Harry Smith, the British Bulldog Jr., Davey Boy Smith Jr., in New Japan.
Mm-hmm.
Harry Smith talks about seeing the match at Bret's house and asking Bret about it and does a dead-on Bret Hart impression that is hilarious. Like, it is amazing. It's like, it's exactly Bret.
Right,
It's
yeah.
crazy. Like if you wanted to do a Bret Hart's voice in a video game or something, you could just get Harry Smith to do it. Like, you got to see the documentary just for that. Like, it is so good. I've never seen anyone do a better Bret Hart impression than Harry Smith. Best there is, best there was, best there ever will be Bret Hart impression. Award goes to Harry Smith.
I met Harry a couple of times. I'm not surprised he could do stuff like that.
Guy cracks me up. I like that guy a lot. I'm a big fan of Harry Smith.
Yeah, he's a funny guy.
How could you not be, right?
He can be a fun guy, but he can also be like a killer as well, too. Like, not a serial killer, but he could beat you up pretty badly in that ring if he wanted to.
Yeah, I know. He's He's a legit tough guy. He's a legit catch wrestler under Josh Barnett. He's a very legitimate grappler. He's won grappling tournaments. He's a very big guy.
Yes.
He's very strong. And he's a great professional wrestler. He's very entertaining. He is one of the most underused and undervalued talents in professional wrestling and has been for his entire wrestling career.
It's
He
surprising.
was underused and undervalued in the WWE, and he's being underused and undervalued in New Japan.
It's too bad they weren't able to capture like the different sides of him into a character in WWE. They just kind of made him plain, where he's far from plain, but for some reason they couldn't capture that.
Yeah. It's I don't know. It's one of the mysteries of pro wrestling. I don't know why Harry Smith isn't a bigger star. He's got everything you'd want. Everything you'd want. He's got the size, he's got the look, he's got the in-ring ability, he's entertaining, he's a personality. He's a character. He's got the pedigree, the history. He's Stu Hart's grandson. He's British Bulldog's son. Like,
right.
He's Dynamite Kid's nephew or cousin, I guess. Right? They were cousins, Davey and Dynamite.
I
I think they were cousins. Anyways, the guy is, he's Natty's cousin.
Well, it's not like he's having a bad career.
No, he's had a great wrestling career for sure, but like, I always thought that he would be way bigger. I still think eventually he'll be massive in pro wrestling.
I think he's doing quite well for himself being in New Japan. And now with the new Hart Foundation that he's doing with Teddy and Brian Pillman Jr.
Yeah. But I thought he'd be a big single star, and he's been mostly big in tag teams.
It just worked out that way.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. But
yeah.
Some guys are just better tag team guys. Cesaro, he'd be a great singles guy, but he's also amazing in tag team.
Yeah. But doesn't mean it's correct. right?
Well, they're trying the singles again. How's that going?
He had a very good match with Rey Mysterio on Raw this week.
Okay. Didn't win that one.
No, he didn't win.
Has won the last 2 weeks.
And he's not in Money in the Bank either.
No. I'm just saying, as a singles guy, he's good, but as a tag team guy, it doesn't compare. He's clearly a much better tag team wrestler.
Yeah. Well, that's what the WWE thinks. I don't know if that's true.
I think he is really good. It just, unfortunately, they won't push him as a singles guy. They don't think he's strong enough as a singles guy. The same thing with Harry. They thought he was better as a tag team guy. They didn't think he was strong enough as a singles guy. It's unfortunate, but it's the way it was.
Yeah. What I'm saying is it's unfortunate.
Yeah.
They should be. I mean, they could be world champions, both of them, right?
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. We're getting a lot of comments. AJ's on the comments.
Oh, is he upset now with you again, or what?
I don't know. AJ was mad because I called him a goofball yesterday, and now he's on the comments saying all sorts of stuff about chicken. Steve Austin, give me a hell yeah barbecue chicken. I don't even know what he's talking about.
He's like spamming like the chats now or something, it looks like.
Yeah, AJ just spams the chats. AJ, I think, was kicked off Reddit for spamming about Ringside Report. I showed him what Reddit is, and I immediately regretted it. Like, man.
Does that come back on you a bit? Like,
I would imagine, yeah. AJ doesn't care, I guess. I don't know.
Well, you should maybe tell him, like, hey, anything that's Ringside Report that falls on Dave Simon. So.
Why don't you tell him?
Well, he's watching, no? Like,
yeah, you tell him right here. You tell him.
Yeah, anything that's Ringside Report falls down on this guy. So be careful, AJ.
Yeah. Be careful, please. And I'll stop calling you a goofball.
Especially with numbers and addresses and all that. That should never be exposed. That's pretty bad.
AJ says that we're being bullies.
We're being bullies?
No,
what?
he says that a grumpy cat died, and that he died because he listened to me and Fred attacking AJ, and we were being bullies.
Wow.
Well, actually, his comment really makes no sense. He says, I think he listened to Dave and Fred attacking me last night for being bullies. So we attacked AJ for being a bully? Like, I don't even understand his YouTube comments.
Yeah, I don't know. But to answer Wally's thing, I didn't go to the gym today, Wally. Like,
wow, you're just naturally
just
jacked.
the way it is. Yeah, it's just the way the arms are. I wish I had my pump on, but yeah, I didn't do that, fortunately. I think David has more of a pump on than I do because he's been holding Zev most of the day.
Yeah, I'm constantly just like throwing around a 30-pound object.
Yeah, well, that's a good workout.
A 30-pound human. He's not an object. I mean, you know what I mean.
It's okay. His mom's watching.
30 pounds of mass.
You're in trouble with her now. It's okay.
Well, he's watching too. He understands everything. It's okay. I got him a new Seth Rollins toy. He's happy.
For now.
Yeah, for now. He was actually mad. He's like, Daniel Bryan? It's not Daniel Bryan? He was like, how come this isn't Daniel Bryan?
The best video is him, like, when he couldn't find the Daniel Bryan toy. You should have posted that. That was fantastic.
Yeah.
You should have send that to, like, Bree or something.
Well, he can wait till his birthday for Daniel Bryan.
Okay.
It's
coming.
It's very hard to find Daniel Bryan action figures in the store, I realized. I had no idea that Daniel Bryan was such a rare figure, but, like, all the stores I go to, Toys R Us, Walmart, whatever, they have WWE action figures. They've got Roman, they've got Seth, they've got AJ, they've got Cena, they've got Undertaker, they've got Finn Balor. Tons of Finn Balors everywhere, but no Daniel Bryans.
Huh.
No Daniel Bryans anywhere. It was very hard, so I had to order him special.
Wow.
Yeah. Anyways. Johnny, we're going to wrap this thing up, but before we do, should I talk about the best of the Super Juniors? I mean, there have been a bunch of matches. I posted the results for the first 2 nights. I've watched 3 nights. There have been 4 nights. I missed the 4th night. I haven't caught up fully on all the wrestling action because it's a lot of wrestling every night, right?
Well, yeah, you watch a lot of wrestling. It's insane.
Yeah. The first night, Taiji Ishimori beat Dragon Lee in a very good match. Shingo Takagi and Sho had a match that I thought was a 4-star match. I've been giving them star ratings, not really to grade the match. I mean, look, my rating for the match isn't going to be the same as your rating necessarily, because I think wrestling is an art. It's very subjective. What I like, you might not like, right?
Yeah, I understand.
So, I just put my ratings mostly to give myself a reminder at the end of this thing what I thought about each match, like how I, graded the match. So I thought Shingo Takagi and Sho was the best match on the first night. 4-star match. Shingo Takagi is just an excellent pro wrestler, and Sho is really breaking out from just the Roppongi 3K tag team member. Now he's becoming, I think, one of the best junior heavyweights in New Japan. It's very impressive to see the progression of Sho. Look out for him. He's doing great work. He had a match not only on the first night with Shingo Takagi, but also on the third night of action, the second night of A Block, where he wrestled Dragon Lee, which was also incredible. Dragon Lee is the champion, the New Japan IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion. So what's going on right now? Do you know what the best of the Super Juniors is?
Well, you told me beforehand, Sho lost all these matches. Like you said, he's really haven't coming out, but he's lost.
Well, he's only lost 2 matches. So listen, the best of the Super Juniors is a tournament. It goes on for a month. The finals are June 5th. It just started on May 13th. Okay? There's an A block and there's a B block. All the wrestlers in A block over the month wrestle each other.
Okay.
Once.
Right.
If you win, you get 2 points. You lose, you get no points. You go to the 30-minute time limit draw, you get 1 point.
That's fun.
Okay?
Okay.
In B block, same thing. At the end of a month, after everybody's wrestled each other, the winner of A block wrestles the winner of B block in the final, and the winner of that match wins the Best of the Super Juniors 2019.
So the champion can win the whole tournament.
The champion can win it, and then he could decide who faces him on June 9th at Dominion, because the winner of this tournament on June the 5th will face the champion on the second biggest show of the year, Dominion, on June 9th. That's where Jericho's going to wrestle Okada for the IWGP Heavyweight title. It's a big show. It was my pay-per-view of the year last year in all of pro wrestling. I thought Dominion was the best show that anybody did. They had Jericho Naito last year and Okada Omega in the main event where they wrestled the 2 out of 3 falls match. So it was the greatest match ever, you know?
Good.
So that was Dominion last year. So Dominion is a big deal. So whoever wins this tournament gets to wrestle Dragon Lee for the title at Dominion, or Dragon Lee wins the tournament and then he gets to decide who he faces at Dominion. He could choose his own destiny.
And he's in B block, right? Dragon Lee?
Dragon Lee is in A block.
Well, he must be leading because he's won all his matches so far.
Dragon Lee has not won all his matches. He lost on the first night to Taiji Ishimori.
Okay.
But then he won on May 15th, beating Sho.
So he's 1-1.
Right now in A block, the leaders are Tiger Mask, Shingo Takagi, and Taiji Ishimori with 4 points each. And then you have Titan, who's a Mexican wrestler, Marty Scurll, Jonathan Gresham, and Dragon Lee with 2 points. Taka Michinoku and Yoshinobu Kanemaru, 0 points. And I've only seen one night of B block, and winners there include Dookie? I don't know. It's like a new wrestler, Douki.
I like Dookie.
Dookie. I like Dookie. I don't think it's pronounced Dookie. It's like Douki or something. He wrestled Ren Narita, who's one of the young lions. Douki replaced, I think, Flip Gordon in the tournament. Flip had to withdraw. He couldn't get a visa to go to Japan. He was supposed to be in it, but he's not in it now.
That's a shame.
Yeah, it sucks. And El Desperado, who was supposed to be in it as well, he had to pull out due to injury. So Dookie and Ren Narita get spots in the tournament. And Dookie beat Ren Narita on the first night of B block. Ryusuke Taguchi beat Yo in a very good match. Will Ospreay beat Bushi in a tremendous match. Really good. Not Kota Ibushi.
No, but Bushi. Yeah.
Bushi. You know Bushi with the mask from Los Ingobernables. And El Fantasmo beat Bandito in a very good match as well. And Robbie Eagles beat Rocky Romero. So that was B block. So that's who's leading B block right now. Dookie, Taguchi, Ospreay, Phantasmo, and Eagles. Although there was a second night of B Block that I haven't seen yet. So I'll get you updated. I'll keep updating my match ratings and the standings and everything as the tournament progresses on my Twitter feed at Dave Simon MMA.
Well, I hope Will Ospreay wins it all because I think he's fantastic. It'd be great to see him win the championship.
Yeah, I think he was Phantom and I's pick to win.
Okay.
I think either him or Ishimori.
Yeah, well, you guys know what you're talking about, so it makes sense.
That's right. We watch a lot of New Japan Pro Wrestling. We love it. Phantom's been watching the matches too as this tournament's going on. We're having a lot of fun. Johnny, is it time?
Well, we should talk about 90 Days, you mean?
Is it time, though?
90 Day Fiancé, I think so.
Boom. It's time. What you got? Like, I haven't seen it. I haven't seen the show in 2 weeks. I'm way behind because I've been watching too much pro wrestling. I don't know. I haven't had time to watch 90 Day Fiancé. I'm going to catch up at some point, but, like, I haven't watched it.
Well, Ashley was talking to her ex, having a drink with her ex. And then
Cool.
Jay got mad.
Why?
Because he's like, oh, well, I can't go on a Tinder date, but you can go see your ex. And she's like, oh, it's completely different.
Well, can he go on Tinder dates now?
No.
But she can go on a date with her ex?
It was just like them having a drink together. It wasn't like a hookup like Jay was trying to do. Like when you
Was
go
he,
on
though? Was he, though? He just said he was idle.
Yeah.
Idle.
Sure.
He was idle.
Anyways, they got into a great shouting match back and forth. A lot of swearing, which was
cool.
fantastic to watch.
Oh, I'm going to watch that. That sounds like fun.
That was probably the highlight of the show.
Okay.
And it seems like Pedro and Chantel are getting divorced because they went to like a lawyer and talked about it. So.
Oh, that's just for the show.
Okay.
They went to a lawyer and talked about it. Did they get divorced?
They just talked about their options.
Do you remember when George and Anfisa did that?
Yes.
Did they get divorced?
No.
Are they still together?
Are they? I don't know.
Well, George is in jail for the next year or two. But they're still together,
yeah,
technically.
they don't like each other, though.
You don't know that. You don't know that. They don't like each other for the cameras.
All right. Sure. Anyways, it seems like they're eventually going to break up because Pedro's like, oh, I'm sick of this. Like, doesn't really want to be with her. And Chantel's like, well, I don't want to be responsible for him for the next couple of years, which she might have to be. So, because he doesn't have his green card yet, apparently.
Okay.
Pedro. So.
They're not getting divorced. I think all of that is a work. I think it's all fake.
And then they had the what now with other couples that we haven't seen in a while, which was kind of weird.
Oh.
Like we saw like Fernanda and Jonathan. And like we
who
know
cares? They're not together.
Exactly, but apparently they filmed that before they broke up.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel like they broke up immediately after the show, didn't they?
Apparently they still had cameras going, and like you see like
you see the breakup?
You see her talking to her parents about going to Chicago, wanting to be a model, and she's thinking about leaving them. And it's like, well, you know what's going to happen because, yeah, everyone, if you've seen it on Instagram and everything, like, yeah.
Yeah, these people all post all the things on their Instagram. It's very obvious to tell what's going on the show because this stuff is filmed like months before, and then it happens, in real time, and you're like, oh, okay.
I think probably, again, Larissa and Cole stole it again because Larissa is not going to be deported. Her case was dismissed, and I guess her and Cole, everything's okay now because
there's really.
He brought her flowers.
Her case is dismissed.
Yep.
Wow, Larissa's getting to stay in the States. Is she still with Colchi, though?
Yeah. It's kind of weird. I don't know how long it's going to last. And it's weird because, like, the first thing they do once they find out, case been dismissed, they decide, let's go have a drink together.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah,
add more alcohol into this volatile situation. Very smart.
So.
Viva Las Vegas.
I don't know if it's just going to lead to more violence, but.
Wally's got a request.
What's that?
He wants me to do the impression of when Pedro attacked the family Chantel. What you say? What you say? When he goes after the river. What you say, river?
I remember that, yeah.
He gets up. What you say? That was the best. He got so mad. That was the best moment in 90 Day Fiancé history when Pedro attacked the family Chantel.
On camera, but also Larissa's like Instagram, like the scratches they had on each other with her and Colt.
Instagram doesn't count. Like they post a lot of nonsense on Instagram. It doesn't really count.
That looked crazy. Like, why do you have scratches? Why does Colt have scratches on his face like that? Like,
because Larissa's scratching him.
Yeah, but why does she have scratches too? Like,
because she's scratching herself to make it seem like she's not the only one at fault.
It's pretty bad.
Well, Larissa's a little. Come on.
It's kind of crazy.
who puts themselves in that situation? Like, what is she with Colt for? Why is she with him?
Well, she wants to be in the States.
Right. By any means necessary? Even if you have to live with Mother Debbie?
I feel like her and Debbie, it's not that bad, really. Like, as long as they don't yell at each other, it's okay.
Something's going on with Larissa. Like, she's not.
They like the attention, obviously.
Yeah.
Television.
Yeah.
Doesn't hurt.
Yeah. I think a lot of them like the attention. I think a lot of them are playing it up for the cameras at this point. This season, from what I've seen, like the Family Chantel stuff seems more and more fake.
Right.
The more you see it. Because it's like, okay, at what point do these people stop fighting with each other? Because it can't be constant drama, but when they're on the show, it's constant drama. But it's like, these people are married in real life. Like, these people live normal lives when the cameras aren't rolling. So when the cameras start rolling, that's when they play it up. Like, obviously, there's some feelings being brought back up because they're being asked pointed questions by the producers. However, I mean, it's still entertainment. You know, they're still trying to be on TV. And I think a lot of them know that if they're not volatile, they won't stay on the show. If you're boring, like Lauren and Alexi, well, you're going to be on that other show where you sit on your bed and we see you just a little bit. You're just part of the cast. If you've got nothing going on, if you're not beefing with each other, if there's no real problems, well, you're not very interesting for the show. If you're a mess, we're going to put you on the show. And if you can create a mess, we'll look the other way and pretend like we don't know that you're creating the mess, and we'll pretend like we're totally shocked when it's revealed that you were faking the whole time. That's how TLC works, I think. That
terrible.
seems to be how the network works. It's like, look, you want to play it up? Okay, play it up. We're going to pretend like you're not, and it's all fine. And I think sometimes they're like, yeah, play it up. Sometimes they encourage it too. It's, it's TV.
Well, that's it. Like, they're trying to sell you a show, and it's more exciting if there's drama, there's beef, than it's just like, well, our kid doesn't shut up. That's not really that exciting.
No, I don't want to see that. I really don't want to see that. I get enough of that at home.
Yeah, you live with it.
Yeah. When I see screaming children like outside, I'm like, I have enough screaming children. I have a 2-year-old son, almost 2 years old, just yelling at me all the time, going bananas all the time at 7:30 in the morning. I don't need to see other children yelling. Calm those children down. But I realize you can't calm the children down. It's impossible. That's what children do. They're wild.
That's why you don't get your 8 hours of sleep.
That's right. All right, Johnny North. We're done.
We're not going to talk about Ashley? No?
What about Ashley?
She passed away yesterday, tragically.
Oh, I thought we were talking about Ashley on 90 Day Fiancé.
No. Thankfully,
we already talked about her and Jay. I was like, I thought we were done.
Well,
we're done. We're done with 90 Day Fiancé.
Yeah, we're done with that. But Ashley Mazzaro.
Yeah, Ashley Massaro, former WWE wrestler, passes away at 39 years of age.
Terrible.
What happened? We don't know, right? Like, we have no idea.
Well, we just know what the cops said, that it's non-criminal. So. And from what people are tweeting out, it seems like it may have been suicide.
That's what the feeling I was getting from some of the tweets from her peers, right? Some of the wrestlers that wrestled with her kind of saying, like, you don't know what anybody's going through, always reach out for help, that type of thing, which seems like maybe it could have been a suicide, but that hasn't been...
That's not confirmed.
Not been confirmed. Very sad, though. Very sad.
Very out of the blue. Like, she was just, like, apparently, like, signing, like, fan... like autographs or like going through her fan mail the other day, and then for this just to happen. She was apparently trained for a comeback as well in wrestling.
Really?
And wow,
it's strange. It's sad. I don't know. She was in the WWE she was in the Diva Search, right?
She won the Diva Search.
She won the Diva Search in 2005. She was in the WWE till about 2008.
She was on Playboy.
She was in Playboy for the WWE back when that was a thing.
Yep.
You know, they had most of their women's roster pose for Playboy. And Ashley was one of them. I don't know. Man. I don't know what to make of this. It's just like people go through things, and I don't know. It's just sad. 39, she had a daughter. It's rough.
Yeah, it's very rough. It's unbelievably heartbreaking for all her friends and family.
Yeah. Somebody else in the wrestling business just dying very young.
Yeah.
It's awful, you know? 39. Imagine if your life only had like 3 or 4 more years to it. You know, it's crazy.
You never know.
You know, when you're like almost 39 and you're thinking about it, you're like, man, imagine you had 6 more years to go. It'd be like, geez, it's crazy. So, I don't know. If you are going through anything, go reach out for help. Talk to somebody. Do whatever you have to do. But try not to do that. Sad. Sad, John. Man, you wanted to bring that up as I was wrapping up the show. You've really made this show sad. You've made it a bummer once again. You always do this to me. You always make the show sad at the end. Now everybody's sad.
What are the comments?
That everybody's sad.
Hey, it's sad, but it happened.
Everybody's sad. Antoinette's like truly sad. That AJ talking about Grumpy Cat who died, who's like an internet meme, also sad. Wally talking about all the wrestlers that have passed on at a young age.
We didn't get to talk about Silver King. You watched his death.
This is a bummer of a show, man, and it's really long. Like, I'm just kind of... Silver King died, too. Silver King was a Mexican wrestler,
51.
wrestled for WCW, and there was a video that came out that showed his death in the ring.
Head on attack.
He had a heart attack in the ring, and he was, like, face down, and Juventud Guerrero was his opponent, and the referee was in there, and they didn't know what to do. They thought... I don't know what they were thinking, but they decide to roll him over, hook his leg, and count to 3 before alerting anyone outside the ring, like, hey, maybe you need to check on this guy. I don't know, man. It was scary. It was awful to watch. But I wanted to see, like, how this all went down, like, what happened. You don't really see him having any kind of attack. Like, the video starts and he's unconscious. You know, the video starts and he's out, and they just kind of struggle to roll him over and count to 3, and that's really all I saw. It wasn't that bad, but it's just, man, pro wrestling is a scary business sometimes, and, you know, WWE has doctors at ringside and whatever, but when you have 50-something-year-old guys still wrestling in these other promotions, and maybe you don't have the proper medical staff at ringside, or maybe no one's really aware of what's going on. No one in charge is stepping in to say, hey, we need to stop this thing. It's scary. And it's something you never, ever want to see happen. You never want to see a wrestler die in the ring. And, man, I didn't like it. I didn't like it, and I didn't like how long it took them to figure out something was really wrong. If that were my loved one, I would be not happy with how that was handled.
He was wearing a mask, though.
Sure, but, I mean, come on. The guy is not moving. The guy's not speaking. Like, stop the match, man. You don't have to count to 3. I don't know.
Right, they weren't thinking about that, unfortunately. Like, it's a heat of the moment kind of thing. Like, I'm not saying what they did was right, but I understand, like, you kind of just freeze in the moment, and you're like, what the heck do we do kind of thing, you know? And you're like, well, let's just get through this kind of thing. That's probably what they thought. It's sad. It's terrible what happened.
How many shows do you work where there's a doctor or medical team present?
Very few. Like, thankfully, like, for Torture Chamber, Drew Onyx, like, there's always, like, someone around.
And how many shows of those shows do you work where there's a wrestler who may be, say, over 40?
Quite a few. I can't think of one show that probably isn't that like that. However, Silver King, like, by the look of him, he looked like he was still in good shape for 51, though. So that's another thing, too. It's hard to tell.
Yeah. Okay, it's hard to tell, but, like, once you reach a certain age, maybe you shouldn't be wrestling anymore.
Possibly.
Like, what if this wasn't Silver King that this happened to? What if this was, The Undertaker? You know what I mean? Like,
right.
I think this is a wake-up call, man. Like, you're 51. Call it a career. Why is Undertaker wrestling Bill Goldberg?
Yeah, but it's a different kind of match. Like, he's wrestling.
I mean, it's safer in the WWE, of course.
Of course. And it's going to be a safer style. Like, Lucha Libre, it's a bit more fast-paced. You really have to have your cardio for that. Goldberg, Undertaker, I think just standing there is going to be the hardest part because of his legs. But he's not going to, like, be doing flips and Hurricane Ranas and all that. So I'm not too worried in that sense. Plus, it's WWE. They always have a doctor on standby. So.
Sure, but, doesn't mean he should be wrestling. Doesn't mean I'm sure he's getting checked, and the WWE does a really good job. You
have to pass medical to wrestle.
You have to pass a medical test to wrestle, and they're going to make sure that he does, right? And they all do. But it's just like, man, that was, that's Silver King, and this happened to him, and it sucks. And there's so many wrestlers that are out there wrestling on these shows where, it's not the WWE, and it can happen to anybody. It's scary.
It is. It's very scary. It's, again, extremely tragic. However, like, it's really hard to stop something like that because I'm sure that's what he wanted. He wanted to wrestle.
And again, if indie promotions had to pay for a doctor to be on standby for every show, there'd be no more indie promotions because they'd make no money. Like, they'd spend all their money on that and then they'd be done,
Well, WWE, there's no health insurance. I mean, you can see it's a problem. Just them having a doctor, that seems to be enough for them.
And AEW's also no health care either, eh? Like, I know that there was a lot of talk about AEW having health care, but it's just going to be for the wrestlers that are also management. So if you're staff, you have health care. Just like if you're staff in the WWE, you have health care. Like Triple H has health care. Not because he's a wrestler, but because he works for the company.
Right. That's interesting.
So that's apparently what AEW is offering right now. So not health care for all their contracted wrestling talent at this moment.
Well, again, they're just starting out, though. So.
Yes. Double or Nothing is next Saturday. And we can order it. I got to check how much this thing's going to cost me, Johnny North. I want to get the StarCast events, too. The Roast of Ric Flair. I want to watch that.
Thankfully, Ric Flair is doing well, apparently.
Yeah. Whew. A lot of scares. A lot of scary stuff going on in wrestling these days. And we'll talk more about it on Wrestling Uncensored. This has been a supersized edition of Dave and Johnny Live. Thanks, everybody, for watching and commenting. And please do subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment down on this video. Like this video. And all of that good stuff. Right?
No final comments? Nobody?
AJ's commenting. I don't want to see final comments from AJ. Talked about, I don't know. What you want to see?
More Grumpy Cat?
Wally talking about going on the Metro with you when he was here from Ireland. I think Antoinette might be in Montreal. AJ's saying some stuff. Whatever.
Well, we had better experiences than going on the Metro. When I was at the phone booth with him, that was much more fun than...
You were in a phone booth with him?
Wally has the photo. He'll post it sometime, I'm sure.
How did you guys both fit in one phone booth?
Well, we weren't in the phone booth, but I was, like, knocking on it.
Because you're a big guy, and so is Wally. Like, how would that work?
Yeah, it wouldn't really work. But,
No.
the fact that we had a phone booth and we could find one was actually more impressive than being on the crummy Metro system we have here in Montreal.
All right. And with that, Johnny, listen to Wrestling Uncensored. And, hey, watch Wrestling Uncensored. It's on the YouTube channel, too, right?
You can watch.
Did you see that last week?
I did see it.
Wrestling Uncensored is now on the YouTube channel. Like you're seeing us now, you'll be able to see Wrestling Uncensored. Not live, but, like a podcast version. Instead of downloading the podcast, you can just watch the YouTube show now where it's me and Johnny doing Wrestling Uncensored.
Like it still airs Saturday, 7 p.m. on TSN.
Yeah.
And
Still
the
airs.
day after,
Yeah.
you can watch it.
And Ringside Report Radio still airs tonight, 7 p.m. on TSN.
That's pretty cool.
There you go. And you can watch Ringside Report on YouTube as well right now on the YouTube channel. So
Uncensored.
Uncensored. Big time uncensored.
A lot of swearing?
Some swearing eventually.
Okay.
Don't worry. Not so bad.
It's okay. I'll do my finger wagging a lot. Don't worry. It's okay.
Yeah. All right, Johnny. Until we see each other again for Wrestling Uncensored.
A preview for Double or Nothing, right? Next week?
On Dave and Johnny Live, we'll do a Double or Nothing preview.
We could.
Yeah. Double or Nothing preview next week on Dave and Johnny Live.
Yay.